Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 10th of December 2020. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Thoth Tarot for today's reading. I haven't used these cards in ages and I love this deck. So let's see what they want you to be aware of today and what energy you'll be working with. So the first card we've got is the Empress. Then we've got the Emperor in reverse. Oh, that's interesting. And the Ten of Cups. Wow. All right. So the Empress is the third card of the major arcana. And she's the embodiment of love. You can see all the pink and green here. Those are the colors of the heart chakra. She's got this orb on her head with a cross on it. So she's really the intersection between divine love, spirituality, and giving birth to that love in a real world sense. So she is nurturing, she's maternal, she's caring. We've got the two moons here. So she's intuitive and she can rely on her own guidance. When she gets gut feelings that say, do this or do this, do this, she can really believe in those feelings and listen to that guidance without being crippled with self-doubt. And anxiety is something that she's able to really deal with. So by listening to her own inner sense of connection or belonging or love, she's able to take any fear or doubt or things that would really make situations seem much harder than they actually are. And she can look at those and say, this isn't the end of the world. You don't have to go and think in absolutes here. Not everything is brilliant or terrible. Love yourself, be there for yourself, have positive self-talk, and realize that you are this divine being having a human experience. And whether your circumstances are difficult or wonderful, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, what matters is that you're there for yourself, that you give yourself a little bit of time, and that you have a bit of patience with yourself. You don't need to measure yourself based on your successes and your achievements in the real world. All you need to do is come home to yourself and realize that you're doing the best you can. And whether you resolve all of your life problems today or tomorrow is really irrelevant. The important thing is this process of continuing. And by being there for yourself on the journey, your whole life is going to be much more enjoyable because you're never going to resolve 100% of your problems. I mean, you can look at life and say, it's just a series of situations and circumstances that I need to deal with. And when I resolve one thing, it's on to the next. And I have to take care of the next problem. And the Empress is saying that that is normal and to expect life to be a little bit challenging at times. And despite those challenges, you're always perfectly protected. You are a divine being in a human casing. And the important thing is to remember your true nature and to connect with love. And you are this duckling that can become a beautiful swan. And you can shine your light, but you're not going to get there by bludgeoning yourself with self-criticism. You've got to be there for yourself and be your best friend. And that's the way you progress in life. And that's the way you move forward. And that's how you get into positions where you're really happy and content and in love. So this is a wonderful opportunity to really look at that inner sense of home and goodness, and this belief that life is a wonderful process and that you are supported and loved and needed. And if that's a challenge for you, you're going to find that you can tune into that much more easily today, and you can feel good about yourself, regardless whether you're in the best situation in your life or the worst. Ultimately, what matters is that you are there for you. Next, we've got the Emperor in reverse, and they're facing each other. It looks like a face-off there, very stoic faces, not much love. And the Emperor is bright red. The Emperor is, we've got the symbol for Aries here, and this little lamb. The Emperor is all about competition and fighting for what's yours. It's about authority and shielding yourself from negative things that you have a part in creating because you're pushing so hard that other people are going to push back. He's also holding an orb. And this is something that you can only do when you feel loved, when you have confidence in yourself It's only then that you can invest in things and say, I deserve this, or I have the capacity and the ability to achieve certain things, and I believe that, I support myself, and that's why I'm going to be successful. You know, the Emperor doesn't look like he's crippled with self-doubt. So he's super, super pushy. He's into power. He's into being number one. He wants to compete. He doesn't care about other people's feelings, even though he needs that love to thrive and to exist. Because we've got the Empress is the third card of the major arcana. What follows is the Emperor. So you need to be nurtured and loved to grow up into a big, strong lad who can rule a country. The good thing is that the card is in reverse. So you're not interested in being number one or flogging yourself to get somewhere or into making other people smaller so that you can be top dog. You're really into this energy of self-care, nurture, believing in the goodness of the world, and you don't really need to get into any fights or into any conflict because you're not that interested in asserting yourself and winning every situation. So you can be tolerant and you can have compassion and you can have understanding. And if you avoid the energy of the Emperor, because the other thing, the Emperor wants to succeed because he wants to prove something to himself. The Empress doesn't need to prove anything because she realizes that she is the essence of love. And as long as you hold on to that, everything's going to be okay. So it really doesn't matter whether you're the king or not. So that's really helpful because if anything comes your way today, which is a threat, or makes you feel like you're being tarnished, or it's sucking your power, or you're being put in a bad situation, you can let it go. Whereas other times, it may really infuriate you, and it may be like this sense of injustice that you feel you have to fight against, and that energy is somewhat muted, and it's mitigated by this amazing love of the Empress. The Ten of Cups is, I don't know how to say this, is really a completion point where you get to the top of the suit of cups and it's really hopes and dreams being realized. Each one of these cups can represent something you want to manifest. It's something that lives inside of you, as in you're already rich inside. I feel loved. I feel connected. I feel like I have something to contribute. I feel creative. I feel connected to the universe. And this kind of reminds me of the tree of life. So it's not something that you have to get from the outside world. It's something that already exists in you. And it's the element of water. And the Empress here is very watery. We've got the moon there, which rules Cancer in astrology. So it's about taking care of yourself and being there for yourself. And all of these cups that reside within you have the opportunity to become real, and you can manifest your hopes and dreams. I think, even though I don't know how to say this, I think it means being satisfied and being full. So you're full of all these wonderful qualities today, and you don't have to fight and kick and scream and build and go on a rampage to make those things happen and to make them a real thing on planet Earth. All you have to do is to believe in yourself, and sooner or later, the light is going to touch whichever dream you're focused on, and it will become a real thing. What's interesting is we've got the symbol for Mars at the top, and Mars is very much aligned with the Emperor. Mars is the male principle of drive and desire, and it rules Aries, the ram, and it's all about pushing forward. And the card is saying that you don't need to push in the real world. You've already got this drive inside of you, and the proof is that you're alive and that you're still trying and that you're still going. So really don't do yourself a disservice by pushing. You're on the right track anyway. Maximize those things in you which give you comfort and your dreams which you want to manifest, and believe that you can become this amazing swan, and that you already are this amazing swan, and all you need to do is continue to be there for yourself. And as the day progresses, you'll notice that 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 of your desires is realized simply by continuing to be there for you and investing in your journey. So again, ignore challenges that may make you feel like you have to react or you have to go into battle mode, you have to defend yourself. You absolutely don't. You go home to a quiet place of peace where you feel like there is growth and there is nurture and support. And that's all you need to do to feel abundant within yourself. And by focusing on that feeling, you can manifest it into the real world. And you can also be a real force of soothing and support and help for other people who may be struggling and who may be hitting their head against the wall. Number-wise, we got 10 and 4 is 14 and 3 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8, and 8 is strength and power in numerology. So real strength today isn't by puffing yourself up and saying, I'm the king of the world, look at me. It's about being there for yourself and dealing with negative emotions and soothing yourself and being your best friend. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.